Good afternoon, guys. What's up? So I'm back at it again today with another video. So first of all, I'm wearing the Jurassic Park t-shirt. I'm really looking forward to the new movie that's coming out soon. I got the little UFC belt in the back and stuff. I'm a fan of both. Today's topic is going to be what men value the most in relationships. And I guess this is, you could call these things, what we look for, expect, and really do help maintain the relationship on the part of the woman. And, what we expect to receive as men, or things that we would ideally like to receive. So first of all, please like this video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and leave a comment after the video is over, and let me know what you guys think. But let's go ahead and begin. Okay guys, now this does not really go in any particular order, but I am just gonna start off with one of the most, commonly known things, if you will. It is essential, but as you go further and further down the road, in my opinion, it becomes a little bit more superficial. I know it does, at least for me, and I think it does for a lot of men. So of course, looks. One of the biggest differences I think between men and women is men are very visual creatures. It's not that women aren't visual creatures as well. I think, women will definitely go for a very good looking guy. They would prefer for their man to be very good looking, but I would say it definitely matters less to women than it does to men. For men, this is something, it definitely matters a lot. So of course, men like a woman who's not only very good looking, but is, keeps good hygiene, that sort of thing. Sex as well. Things between men and women, it's all about procreation. For women, it's not that you don't want a guy who's good looking, but I'm gonna make this assumption, I think it's pretty much true, which is, you look for a man to more so be a provider. Is he going to give you a sense of safety? Is he going to give you a sense of security? Is he going to be able to, give you or enhance a certain lifestyle that you want? Is he going to be able to help you take care of the kids? You know what I mean? That sort of thing. For women, it's all about, is the man a provider? For men, it's a large portion of it is this woman going to be good at these things? Is she good looking? Does she have those, good looking genes? So, but putting that one aside, that is, kind of obvious. Let's move on to the other ones. Okay, so this next one, ladies, I cannot emphasize how important this one really is. One simple word: peace. So what I mean by this, ladies, is, we don't want to be nagged. We don't want a lot of anxiety, and we don't want a lot of worry and trouble in our lives. We don't. We have enough of it to deal with as it is, most men. There's still a great expectation for men to go out there to be the breadwinner, to have all the money to provide for the kids, be able to go buy this, be able to go buy that, pay for gas, pay for the mortgage, pay for all kinds of other things, and stuff. There's just so many things that are still put on us as men at the end of the day that, frankly, it's enough to just deal with that. We don't want any added stress in our lives. That's one of the other things too. A man will kind of gauge in the beginning, and he will keep track of as the relationship goes on. How much stress does this woman add to my life? And if it's something that is too much stress, that definitely just puts a whole damper on things, to say the least. And really at the end of the day, what we just want is, we just want to be in peace. We have a certain amount of peace, a peace in our lives. And, at the end of the day, when we come home, when we are just chilling, doing our own thing, laying in bed, having our own downtime, relaxing, like we just want it to be peaceful, quiet, and not full of any crap, So that's just something, I guess, and honestly, most men, I think, will agree with me on this. We want peace. Like, we just don't want to deal with any bullshit at the end of the day. It's just too much and it's too aggravating. So yeah, that's the other thing, is peace. So, it's kind of almost somewhat binary. He will kind of look at it as, okay, how much peace is this woman going to bring me? Because you as a woman, you can actually be additive to that. You can actually bring a man peace. I've had it before where, I've dated some girls in the past who actually did bring peace to my life. They kind of brought a certain sense of, I'm not gonna say order, but more so like, I don't know, like it was just how they carried themselves, the way that they, I guess, tried to emotionally help me in some ways, if you will. Just not that I really needed it per se, but just what they were offering up, it actually enhanced the peace in my life, which was great, So it's not like, oh, like, all you can do is take away his peace. It's just a matter of, how much you take away. I'm just gonna, or, you're thinking as a lady, I'm just gonna try to take away less. No, like, you don't have to take any of it away. You can actually be additive to that peace, which I will get to very shortly. Like I said, peace, any added bullshit, any added stress that you bring on is definitely going to be a negative, and he will start to see you a bit in a negative light. So don't disturb his peace, bring peace, basically. The next one I'm gonna say is obviously love. That's not something that I think is proprietary to just men. It's, of course, women want it too. Love, men at the end of the day, we want to feel loved. I know everybody has their own quote unquote love language, but I guess a couple of ways that you ladies, I guess, could express or really show a man that you love him is to, of course, be there for him in his life. Don't judge him for his struggles and, the burdens that he is carrying. Because a lot of those things, depending on the man and what he's got going on in his life, it can be very difficult, and this kind of goes back to that piece. Will you be somebody who contributes to his peace and kind of is additive in that way, or will you be somebody who kind of just disturbs his peace? The other thing too, ladies, a big one, respect. Show him respect, okay? That is another way that you can show him that you really love him. Men, honestly, and I wasn't even totally aware of this myself, but one day, I just heard it one day, on TikTok or something, or on a relationship podcast, and I was like, whoa, why didn't I put those words together? But it is true, men will often relate or equate love with respect, okay? So respect your man, all right? Make sure that he respects you, okay? I'm not saying that it's a one-way street, not at all. It's a two-way street, but respect your man, okay? Show him that you respect him, okay? And he will equate that with you loving him. Trust me, he will. And okay, this next one, I think a lot of guys probably may not totally be aware of this, but I mean, after I say this, if any of you are listening, please leave a comment. I'm pretty sure you'll agree with me. But this is me personally. I tell you, I love this so much when a woman does this. This is a big one for me. Solutions. So take, for example, maybe I have something going on in my life. There's something I'm going through. It's tough, and it's just kind of mentally and emotionally breaking me down. And yes, ladies, it does happen. Men do get brought down emotionally and mentally. But I personally love it when a woman is not only there for me emotionally and mentally, and is there to, I guess, console me, but also is there to provide me with solutions. Somebody who can basically teach me something, who can, provide a different angle, a different perspective, a different way of looking at something, and then being like, hey, why don't we look at it this way? Like, why don't we attack this problem together as a couple? You know what I mean? That sort of thing. Like that, to me, honestly, when a woman does that is probably, literally, ladies, like, I kid you not, like, I'm not saying that this is the way all men are, but I just know for me personally, I would say that there are probably a good number of men out there that are like this. When a woman does that, that to me is probably one of the sexiest things a woman can do. Like on a spiritual, emotional, intellectual level, like just, it's there. Like that to me is like super attractive. A girl, there was a girl recently, that I was dating, and she was great in that regard. I mean, she has her life together. She's very just, she like compartmentalizes everything. She's got a great head on her shoulders. We, went on a bunch of dates. And I just remember one day I was having a bit of an off day. It wasn't even really that big of a deal. It was just something that was kind of annoying me, if you will. And like, she just right away was like, hey, she couldn't see me right then and there. But cause she had a few things that she had to deal with, but she like cut some time out of her day, and she was like, hey, like, let's hop on FaceTime real quick. And like, we FaceTimed, and she was just telling me, she goes, look, like, what's going on? Like, tell me what's going on. So I told her all about it, and she was just like, okay, well, here, like, I understand how frustrating that is. How about this? How about you like try to do this, da 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 da, and why don't you do this? And oh, by the way, like, if you do this, this is literally how you can manifest X, Y, and Z, and it can come to fruition, and blah, blah, blah. And then she went on into her own experiences as to how this worked for her. And like, I thought that was really, like, I not only thought it was nice, I was like, wow, like, I'd never really thought of it that way. As men, we're always, and I think as human beings too, like, but especially men, like, we're driven to evolve. We're driven to progress. We're driven to be better than what we were earlier in the day or yesterday, whatever, last year. And if you can enhance that, if you can help us like on that journey, like if you literally like just come together with us and you're like, hey, like, I'm here for you. Let's tackle this problem together. Have you thought about looking at it this way? Have you thought about this? That sort of thing. Like, why don't you try this? And you're there and you're supportive. Like, ladies, I kid you not, like, whatever you want from us, trust me, if you do that, you'll get it. You'll get it. Trust me. So that's pretty much it when it comes to, I don't know, I guess some of the bigger and little more subtle things, if you will. But there are also a couple things that I want to add, ladies, is just some perspective. Okay, and one of the other things, a little subtlety here, ladies. Men, this is gonna sound kind of weird, because I don't know if you ladies are used to thinking this way or not, but I do know a lot of men do this, which is men see any potential relationship with a woman or the relationship that they're in, whatever, they see it as an investment. It kind of goes back to everything I just said. Like, are you contributing to his peace? Are you going to be an asset in that regard? Are you going to enhance his peace? That's an asset. Are you going to disturb his peace? That's a liability. Are you going to love him properly? Are you going to love him unconditionally? And that's the other thing too. A lot of men will kind of look at and they'll remember certain things, ladies. Like, it is true, I think by and large, men are not loved unconditionally. They're loved based on what they can provide. So that's the other thing he'll think about. Like, he'll think about, okay, like, do you love me when I'm just buying you tons of things? When I'm coddling you? When I'm spending a ton of money on you? When the good job goes out the door, are you still suddenly there? Or are you still showing me the same love that you did before? Or is it totally conditional? That sort of thing. So, like I said, unconditional love is definitely an asset, something that contributes to, if you show him unconditional love, he'll be like, oh, okay, great. Like this is a good investment. Like this is a good egg. This is a good girl. Are you being there for him emotionally? You know, are you helping him take care of things? You know, just as you would expect him to help you take care of things. So that's another thing, you know, he's just like, okay, like if you're doing those things, it's like, okay, wow, this is a great investment. If you're not doing any of those things, then he's gonna be like, well, okay, this isn't such a great investment. And ladies, the other thing too is, I will say this, like, you know, you're not a good investment just because you're good looking and just because you may be good at sex, okay? Like those types of things, they're good, definitely, they matter, but at the same, they're not going to matter in the long term, like in the really like long term. I'm talking if you want to marry this man, you want him to put a ring on your finger, that sort of thing, you really want to be with him for life, you gotta come with a lot more than just that. Like it's gotta be sustainable. And everything I just said is, or are things that will lead to a sustainable relationship with a man. Here's a decent example, if you will. I'll kind of draw a bit of a comparison here. Conceptually, you should be able to internalize this though. So take for example, we see the relationship as a potential, you know, an investment or a potential liability, that sort of thing, you know? Just as you ladies, okay, now think about it this way, okay? Ladies, you get pregnant, you have kids, okay? Your priority is the baby, right? The baby, that is your offspring. Like you are there, like you have this natural maternal instinct to take care of your children. You want to eliminate any and all liabilities or threats to your child's well-being, both physically, emotionally, mentally, that sort of thing, okay? Well, you know, men kind of, it's not that we don't see children that way, we definitely do, but we kind of see our piece, okay, who we are, our development, we see that as like our baby, and we want to eliminate or stop anything that would potentially harm or disturb that baby, you know, the baby being peace, you know, who we are, our lives, basically. Well, ladies, I really hope that this was insightful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to leave it in the comments section below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe, and I will be coming out with more content very soon. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys soon.